And there was another thing, because I know you're real big on people being stupid, right? Did anybody... Oh, God. Essentially what happened is... Okay. No, because this is the state of things, all right? Let's just zoom over here and we can talk about how people are dumb. Okay. This is NYU. New York University, right? One of the top in the country, allegedly. So the title you get right there is NYU chemistry professor. It's chemistry. Fired after students said his class was too hard. Bro, I'm failing your class. I'm failing your class, bro. Bro, why is your class so hard? You're not a good teacher. This guy has been teaching for decades in like Princeton, okay? Basically stuff like that. So, and the fun quote from the teacher is, students were misreading exam questions at an astonishing rate. So basically, and okay, for those who don't know, when you deal with medical stuff and sciences and all that other fun stuff, there are classes that basically, they're almost called like the weeding out classes, where they are hard because it's hard. So it gets rid of the people that just can't cut it. You know what I'm saying? Every profession has those, and if they don't, they should. Because you want the best and brightest succeeding, not the people who are just like, this is too hard, make it easier. So the short of it is, kids got together, made a petition because everything was too hard, even though this guy did offer extra help. Let's see, professional chemistry student at Princeton University in 2007. He semi-retired and began teaching organic chemistry at New York University in an adjunct basis. He's an adjunct. All right. So, not anymore. NYU has fired Jones after students circulated a petition protesting that his class was too hard. If I could have done that in any math class I ever took, I would have been laughed at. Math is too hard. This is chemistry. This is important stuff you kind of don't want to fudge. Okay? You don't want to make this up as you go along, because then you get your Walter Whites. Okay? This is stuff you gotta be careful. Okay? It's chemistry. There's formulas. There's mixtures. There's reactions. Okay? According to Jones, the students weren't putting in enough effort, according to, the teacher, which, fine. They always say that. And had become disengaged, anxious, and indolent. I don't even know that word. Indolent. Okay. New word for me. Indolent as a result of the pandemic. I gotta. What is this? We gotta look this up. What's indolent mean, chat? If you ever find a word you don't know, boom. Don't be indolent. Wanting to avoid activity or exertion.
Thank you.
Lazy. Hey, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Devin. Yes. What's up? All right. So basically, fancy word for lazy. Don't be indolent, chat. All right. I'm going to be using that all day now. Indolent. Today's secret word is indolent. Yeah. Ooh, what was that show where everyone would say the secret word and they would just start yelling and stuff? I feel like that was a Pee Wee Herman thing. Indolent as a result of... So basically, they were lazy. They weren't coming to class, that's for sure, said Jones. They weren't watching the videos, and they weren't able to answer the questions. That pretty much seems like a bad student, right? If you're a teacher, and your class can't answer questions, and they're not watching the videos, they're not paying attention, and they're being indolent, bro. Oh, so it was Pee-wee. All right, good to know. Jones is profiled in the recent New York Times article that chronicled this firing. The piece also raises uncomfortable questions about elite institutions of higher learning and their utter devotion to appeasing unreasonable student demands. This is the problem. Education should not be appeasing idiots because it's education. Okay? If you know how many times I failed a class in my life? That's my fault. I didn't get the material. I failed. I utterly failed. That was my fault. I did not put the effort in because I didn't care. I was being indolent. Hey, using that word all day today, chat. Organic chemistry. Hold on. Here we go. Organic chemistry is the bane of medical students everywhere, precisely because it is such a hard class. Okay? But many doctors would argue that that's the point. The class is designed to act as an effective gatekeeper, preventing underqualified students from entering the field of medicine. Bro, here's what it is now. Basically, anybody who graduated from 22 on, if I see on their wall an NYU diploma, I ain't going to them as a doctor because this is what you're going to get. Keep this in mind. So 2021, you might be okay. 2022 and on, forget them. Not doing it. This article made my skin crawl, tweeted Alice Dreger, a that's a thing. A bioethicist. Bioethicist. All right. And former profession of medical humanities. We aren't going to end up with good doctors by letting undergrad pre-meds pass organic chem because universities want to protect their U.S. news rankings. This is the thing. Forget about No Child Left Behind. When it comes to the medical science, I want as many left behind as humanly possible because I don't want them approaching me with scalpels if they're not qualified. Okay? If somebody's cutting me up, I want them to be able to do everything. Okay? I don't want somebody who kind of showed up to class, kind of watched the videos and was indolent. Okay? So, this is the thing. We're having the war of stupids. Okay? This is what this translates to me as. The war of stupids. People don't want to do the work. They want to pass. I would love that. I would like to be a top Twitch/YouTube streamer merely by showing up. I should just be like this. Put me in the top of the rankings, YouTube. Come on, I'm great. Let me pass. It doesn't work that way. You got to put the time and effort into it, to a certain extent. Sometimes there's luck involved, but this isn't medical science. So the thing is, we cannot allow a large group of stupid people to dictate what intelligence should be. We shouldn't. We really shouldn't. Intelligence is intelligence. It's like logic. There's no way of, working around it. Well, no, maybe this. I don't feel this math is logical. I don't feel like I should know how to do this. What? Dude, no. Get your feels out of school, man. Dude. But anyway, let's carry on. According to the New York Times, 82 of Jones' 350 students signed the petition last spring. It alleged that too many of them were failing and that this was unacceptable. It's unacceptable that I'm failing. Yeah, because you're stupid. That's why you're failing. All right. The students cried emotional and mental health complaints to make the case that Jones ought to make the class less difficult. Here's the thing. If you are getting, and I'll get to chat in a second, if you are doing medical sciences and you are getting into the medical field, I do not want you operating on anything more important than a stuffed animal at a doll medical shop, okay? If you are going to have mental health issues holding you back from doing what you're supposed to be doing, you can have your mental health issues, but not when it comes to saving the lives of other people. You can't not show up to an operation because you're having a bad day. What, you don't like the sight of blood, so you can't do the operation? Are you feeling sad so you can't treat something? Get the hell out of the profession, Medical doctors, here's the thing, and nobody likes when a doctor has bad bedside manner, when they're very cold, okay? And they're very like, This is what's going to happen. This is what we have to do. We have to do this about here. If you're not here by this, you're probably going to die. That is actually, despite what you would think, the doctor that you want, because they are approaching you like a math problem. You're not a human. You are bits and pieces that they need to fix, and they know how to do it. That's what you want. Yeah, being, having an emotional, nice bedside manner is okay. But I never get offended when a doctor says, if you don't do this, you're going to drop dead. Okay? And if you don't do this and you do drop dead, don't call me because I already warned you. I'm fine with that. That is logical. That is what their job is. So if you are having mental health crises in college, what are you going to do when you have to reattach somebody's arm? Because it got caught in a thresher. Right? Yeah. So there it goes on. We urge you to realize that a class with such a high percentage of withdrawals and low grades has failed to make students' learning and well-being a priority and reflects poorly on the chemistry department as well as the institution as a whole, the petition read. That's remedial. Let me look up a complaint on the internet and cut and paste that into my petition. Okay? Oh, God. The Times article suggests that throughout the pandemic, Jones made a number of accommodations for struggling students. He reduced the difficulty of his exams, but students were still failing them. That's a big problem. Okay, you're stupid. Let's dumb this down a little bit. Oh, you're still stupid. No, they should not be in a medical profession. No. Students were misreading exams at an astonishing rate, said Jones. The article does note that the petition never called for Jones to be fired, but the university evidently decided that the best way to resolve the situation was turn him loose. Gonna turn him loose. Ah! Kind of thing. His departure is certainly a loss for NYU's academic caliber. After all, Jones is a lion in the field of organic chemistry, publishing 225 papers in his 40-year career. He literally wrote the textbook Organic Chemistry, which weighs in at 1,300 pages. This is the teacher you want teaching future doctors. They quite literally wrote the book. Bro. Jones learned to teach during a time when the goal was to teach at a very high and rigorous level. If only that were the case, right? Parmjit Arora, a professor of chemistry at NYU and former colleague of Jones, told the Times, we hope that students will see that putting them through that rigor is doing them good. Yes. Dude, even as an art student, you were... And this is art. It's stupid, meaningless crap, right? You had professors who quite literally ripped up your work in front of you, trying to push you forward. They did that to other people as well. You imagine working on a piece of artwork for, 3 weeks and having a teacher just rip it up in front of you? This is garbage. Do it over. Deadpan. Dude, what are you going to do? Sit there and cry about it? Others did. We're like, all right. And you did better. Why? Because you put all that emotional baggage and mental crap behind you, and we're just like, you got to get good. Yo, NYU, get good. Bro. Okay, essentially you put yourself in the Dark Souls of classes, okay? And now you want easy mode. All right? Know what you're getting into. God. NYU clearly feels differently about the matter. Press releases from an educational organization is usually very pathetic and damage control-y, in my opinion. NYU had in Professor Maitland Jones, a faculty member with a one-year appointment specifically to teach organic chemistry, wrote Jones Beckham, a spokesperson for NYU statement. One of the organic chemistry classes in the spring of 2022, there were, among other troubling indicators, a very high rate of student withdrawals. A student petition signed by 82... okay, it is 82. All right. No, I saw the number before earlier. I want to make sure this article actually doubled back to the correct number, and they weren't like 80. And then it's like, well, you didn't even get that right. So then how much am I going to trust this article? Let's see, higher rate withdrawals, course evaluation scores that were by far the worst, not only among members of the chemistry department, but among all university undergraduate science courses. Because you have a teacher who literally wrote the book. They're going to have higher standards. And that's what your school should be. Higher standards. There we go. But the question isn't whether students deserve good teachers. Of course they do. But whether good teachers should feel compelled to pass students who fail to demonstrate mastery of an extraordinary, important, and complex subject matter. Okay? I'm just saying. They celebrated organic chemistry professor Maitland Jones Jr. had high standards, and we can't have that in 2022. Writes the leftist author. I like the way they throw it. It's a leftist author. And teacher Freddie DeBoer. Is that the name of an actual like thing, or are they just literally putting their political perspective on it? Whatever. NY students who are, by any rational measure, some of the most privileged people on planet Earth, organized the petition and got him fired. I hope you never get treated by one of those doctors who emerges from this mess. All right, now I got to get the chat. I just had to go through that article because it's an indicator of what's going on in the world, you know? Let's see. The bar keeps getting lower. It's going to get worse. Yeah, Devin, seriously. I'm just trying to go back through chat. Sorry if I missed stuff. It sounds like on the student stand, again, if the subject is hard, then students then study harder. Yeah. And you know, there was another article that said a lot of the students, get this, and I'm going to call bull on this, right? A lot of students, in the other article I saw, complained they didn't have internet. You live in New York City, okay? You're going to NYU. You have money. Therefore, you have a phone, which has a cell connection. Okay? That's not an excuse. I didn't have internet. You can literally say, what, you don't have phones? You do have phones. I know you have phones. So NYU, it just quite literally lost all my respect as if I had any to begin with. But I'm just saying, I don't look at it as an accredited school anymore if they're going to do stuff like this. My personal opinion, but idiocracy at its finest. Yeah, dude, I mean, quite literally. I find it just bizarre that any... Okay, here's the thing, and I would actually say, okay, because I've had some very difficult teachers, right? And I've had teachers that basically just passed me because they're like, I don't want to see you again. Quite literally, gave me the base grade, said, you are getting this as a gift because you are awful at the subject and I don't want to see you again. That's it. They just get out of here. I have passed classes I shouldn't have passed. 100% of the time, right? Thank you, by the way. But you know what? I never got into the fields that required chemistry, you know, heavy mathematics, engineering, any of that stuff. You know? Look at me. Do I look like I'm doing anything important? No. I just find it weird, especially in a profession like the medical field. You want your best and brightest, you know, and you don't want people who are like, this curriculum is giving me stress. Have you? It's the stress of this course is affecting my mental health. You're not going to be a doctor. If you're cracking under the pressure of a written test, I don't want you holding scalpels, bro. God. I wouldn't even want them to be a vet. I wouldn't want them to be a chiropractor. I wouldn't want them doing somebody's nails that has diabetes. Okay? You got to be careful doing that. I don't want them touching any part of the human body. I don't even want to shake hands with them. Okay? Hey, if you're a medical professional coming out of NYU 2022 and on, sorry, I just don't know. No. Sorry. I'll go elsewhere. I would not know if school was causing me stress. I was one of the Ritalin zombies from the 80s, 90s. Oh, I know school caused us stress. Dude, you were totally stressed, but you know what? Boom, you went through it. Yeah. That's why, you know what? This one can get into a car accident, get out of the car and be like, all right, this is what we got to do. We got to do this. I'll make this phone call, this over here. We got to get this out of here. This thing, the people in the other car are okay, fine, that's whatever. Damn, I can't believe they ran the red like that. They were going like 30 miles an hour. I'm glad we're not dead. All right, you get out of the car over there. We got to do over here. Cops are already on their way. Do that over there. And I already called the tow truck. That's how you succeed under stress, okay? You know, a lot of practice. Dude, getting into a car accident, dude, it was nothing. It's like, boom. You're like, all right, I'm okay. Boom, get out of the car. Survey the damage. Yeah, screw that. It was a while ago. We're fine, clearly. I would say little things will set me off, though. You know, like if I run out of coffee, you better get out of the way.